Alright, so our team chose the challenge, the fast or the furious, and today we bring you our solution, travel on demand. Our solution to making your commute faster and a whole lot less furious.
Alright, so we all know what's happening in this photo. I experience this every day, and I'm sure from the show of hands earlier, everyone here experiences it as well. Congestion is a major issue in Auckland, especially when you're the car right at the end of the line. In peak times, it takes so long to get anywhere that it's seriously impacting our economy and hurting our everyday lives. I mean, in Auckland alone, we lose more than $1 billion in productivity per year due to congestion. And the population of Auckland is just going up. If we don't do something about it soon, we'll all end up like this. So our challenge is to get people out of congestion.
So when we considered our options around this very unique Auckland challenge, one thing came to light again and again, and that's the question of space. Rather than expanding our road and rail network, we're looking to build more ferry terminals, for example, in an environment where we have a growing city and a dwindling resource around that space issue. Wouldn't it be more efficient, wouldn't it be more practical to look at how we can improve the efficiency within that existing commuter network? As this image really clearly illustrates, car commuting, which most of us are guilty of, is a highly inefficient way of moving people from A to B. Our focus is to move people back towards public transport. That compressed, highly efficient means of moving more and more people more efficiently, more faster down those existing networks. But when looking into this, because typically when you ask someone if they enjoy taking the bus, the answer is no, we found that it's not actually adversity towards the public transport infrastructure itself. The issue is getting people to and from that infrastructure. So our solution is really all about addressing an often overlooked area of the commuter network, and that's addressing the first mile and the last mile. Getting people to and from their homes to that public transport hub, that ferry terminal, whatever it may be, where they can then move quickly on and get on with the rest of their day. To illustrate this, I'd like to introduce you to Jin. Jin's actually part of the problem, but his day-to-day commute is typical of many, and it helps illustrate the challenge that we're trying to solve here.
So, hi everyone. I live in Rothsay Bay, and daily commuting is just a horrible experience for me. Now, I drive to work every day. Why? As you can see from the screen, it takes me 42 minutes to drive to my workplace in the morning. Now, the same journey takes 1 hour and 30 minutes through public transport. Now, not only that, I have to catch 2 or even 3 buses. I have to make sure I check the time for each bus, and then I have to actually make sure I get to the bus stops in time. And after all that, I have to go through the hassle of my bus stopping at every bus stop to pick up other passengers. Now, that's why I drive. That's why I drove today. And I'd only consider catching the bus if it were more efficient and comfortable.
So what if, instead of having to drive to your nearest station or wait at a bus stop to get taken to your next station, what if you could be picked up from your door and dropped off at the nearest transport hub for less than the price of a cup of coffee? No more battling traffic, no more trying to find a park, no more worrying whether you're going to make it on time, no getting wet, no having to be in the cold or walk home in the dark, no more having to stand in a crowded bus for the entire journey. Instead, you're picked up from the door by a driver who knows your name, you're guaranteed a seat, and you've got privacy if you want it, and then you've got Wi-Fi as well, so you can catch up on a bit of work or just jump on Facebook, whatever you want to do. We think this is exactly what Auckland needs. We call it travel on demand. So travel on demand is a user-orientated form of public transport which uses flexible routing and small to medium-sized vehicles. So on-demand solutions have begun to emerge around the world for some time now, and one of those solutions is Transdev's Ride Plus solution. So Ride Plus allows you to book first and last mile transport via a website or app that picks you up from home and takes you to the nearest transport hub and vice versa. So the ride is comfortable, the service is seamless, and most importantly, it's affordable. In order for Auckland to keep up with the increasing infrastructure challenges that come with growth and success, and in order for us to become a truly world-class city, we need to become early adopters of these emerging capabilities and technologies. We propose to undertake a trial of this service in Devonport for 6 months. Working with Transdev, we've estimated that it will cost approximately $50,000 per month to provide a Monday to Friday service using 2 vehicles. the cost will be offset by advertising and fare revenue, and then we can very easily scale up the trial as it gathers momentum and demand increases.
So why Devonport? We believe that Devonport is a perfect place to trial our travel on demand. Now there are about 23,000 people in Devonport, and by Auckland standard, that's considered a fairly dense population. Secondly, congestion. Now Lake Road is notorious for traffic congestion. It's the only route to get out of Devonport by land. And ferry is the other option, but it's really hard to find parking around the ferry wharf. And to actually get to the ferry terminal is just a horrible experience. As you can see here, the current local bus routes in Devonport are limited and also inefficient. And this is why 82% of the people in Devonport, according to an AA survey, choose to drive along Lake Road every day. Also, Devonport has been chosen for a smart city trial at the end of the year. Now this means that ferry terminal and park and ride will have new technologies like parking sensors and electrical vehicle charging. Now it's planned that they'll restrict some parking space for electrical vehicle charging only, and this is a good opportunity for us because it will limit people driving to the ferry terminal, and also because we have a vision to implement electrical minibuses as part of our solution in the future. Lastly, Devonport is measurable. Because there are only 2 routes to get out of Devonport, we can easily measure success of our solution.
So, we will deploy Transdev's Ride Plus solution to 2 comfortable walk-on minibuses in the Devonport area for an initial 6-month trial. This will be a partnership between Auckland Transport and Transdev, with Transdev as the service provider, as they've already signed a letter of support for the proposed trial. This is a stepping stone to wider Auckland rollout and services, and secures Auckland's place as an early adopter and world leader of this cutting-edge transport technology. It's also an essential first step in Auckland's future on-demand transport network. A future in which getting from A to B is as simple as a click on your smartphone away, and in which personal car ownership is truly a thing of the past. So, Auckland Transport, we ask that you join us and Transdev in making this solution a reality. Transdev have already signed a written letter of support, so now all we need you to do is get on board and join us. David, please, endorse this trial. We need a 6-month trial in Devonport. It will cost about $50,000 per month for the course of the trial, and it will allow us to operate with 2 vehicles, and like Devon said, it's easily scalable. We believe this is enough time to demonstrate the viability of travel on demand, as well as beginning to explore further options for rollout of services right across the Auckland region.
So in putting this solution together, we've consulted with a wide range of advisors, and our grateful thanks to everyone who's inputted into the solution so far. It's a solution that we believe is cost effective, which is highly important. We believe it's also very scalable, so we're looking at a low risk implementation. It uses the current space. So in a city that's growing rapidly, we're not competing with all of those other demands on our need for land and infrastructure. And most importantly, as the guys have said, this is a cutting-edge, innovative piece of technology. This puts Auckland at the forefront and enables us to say to our population that we have a fast, comfortable and effective way for you to get from A to B going forward into the future. There is a lot of material that sits behind this in terms of feasibility and timings and so forth. So with that, if there are any questions from the judges or the rest of the room, we don't open the floor up. Thank you.